بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
尊敬的迪苏莎女男爵
Speaker,
尊敬的伯克议长
Mr. Speaker,
尊敬的卡梅伦首相
Mr. Prime Minister,
各位议员
Members of
女士们
Parliament,
先生们
ladies
朋友们
and gentlemen,
大家
friends,
好
good afternoon.
很高兴有机会来到有着
I am glad
议会之母
to
之
come
称
to the
的
British Parliament,
英国议会
known as the mother of all
同
parliaments,
各位议员见
and
面
meet with you, members of
首
Parliament.
先我仅代表中国政府和人
On
民
behalf of the Chinese
并
government
以我
and
个人的
people,
名义
and in my own name,
向在座的各位议员
I
致
wish
以
to
诚挚的
convey
问候
our warm
和良好的
greetings
祝愿。
and best wishes to you.
今天是我应伊丽莎白二世女王
Today
邀请，
is the start of my state
对英国
visit
进行
to the
国事
United
访问的
Kingdom and the
第一
invitation
天。
of Her Majesty the Queen.
虽然是刚刚来到，
Although
我已经
my visit
深切地感
has
受到
just started,
中英关系的
I
蓬
am
勃
already
朝气，
deeply impressed by the
体会
vitality
到
of China-UK
两国人
relations
民的深情厚
and
谊。
the profound friendship between our
我对
peoples.
通过这次访问，推动中英友好关
This
系迈
gives
向
me
新台
good
阶，
reason to believe
期待。
that my visit will lift the friendly ties between our two countries
此时此
to a
刻
new height.
置身古老的议会大厦，
Being here in this old
让人
Parliament
们产生
building
了穿越时
gives
空的感
one
觉。
the feeling of going back in time.
英国是最先开始探索代议制的国家。
Britain was the first country to establish the
13
system
世纪
of representative
英国议会
government.
就初具雏形，
The British Parliament,
成为世界上
which
最
came
古老
into
的议会。
being in the 13th century, is the oldest parliament in
在
the
中国
world.
民本和法治
In
思想
China,
自古有
the
之。
concept of putting people first and
约4000 年
following the
前
rule of law
夏禹
emerged
时期
in the
就有
ancient times.
民为邦本，
About
本固邦宁
4,000
的
years
说法。
ago, during the reign of Yu the Great in the Shah
中国古人
dynasty,
认为
there was already
国
a
无常
saying
强，
that the
无常
people
弱，
are the foundation of
奋
a
发者
country,
强，则
and
国
only
强；
with a stable
奋发者
foundation
弱，
can a country
则国
enjoy peace. The ancient Chinese believed that
2000
no
多年
country
前
will
就有
stay
了
strong
成文
or
的法
weak
典。
forever. He who abides by the law will make a
现
country
在，
strong, while he who fails
中
to
国人
do
民
so
正在
will
全
make a
面推
country
进
weak.
依法治
China's
国，
first code of statutes were compiled over
既吸
2,000
收
years ago.
中华法治的优良传
Today,
统，
as the Chinese people are
也
advancing
借
the
鉴
rule of
世
law
界
in
各
all
国
round
法
way,
治的
they
原
draw
则。
inspiration from not only China's own legal
目
traditions,
标就是
but
坚
also the
持
best
法律
practices of
面
the
前
rule
人
of
人
law
平等，
of other countries.
加快建
Our
设
goal is to ensure
中国
that
特
all are
色
equal
社会主
before
义
the
法
law,
治体系，
accelerate the development of a
不
system
断推
of
进科学
socialist
立法，
law-based governance
严格执
with
法，
distinct Chinese
公正
features,
司法，
and steadily
全民
promote
守法
the
精神。
making of sound laws, strict law enforcement,
在这方面，
judicial
两国立法
justice,
机关
and the
可以
building
加强
of a
交
law-abiding
流互
nation.
鉴。
The legislatures of our two countries
女士们，
can
先
have
生们，
more exchanges to
朋友们，
enhance mutual learning in this regard.
中英
Ladies and
虽然地
gentlemen,
处
friends,
亚欧的两端，
although China and the
却长
UK
期
are
彼
located
此吸引。
at opposite ends of the Eurasian
新中国
continent,
成立以来，
we have all long shared
两国关
deep
系
mutual
创下了
affection.
多项第一。
Since the founding of New China in 1949,
英国
our
是第
two
一个承
countries
认
have
新
led
中
the
国的
way in
西
a
方大
number
国，
of areas in terms of bilateral
也
relations.
是率先同中国建立
The
全面
UK
战
was
略
the
伙伴
first
关系
Western
的
power
欧
to
盟国家。
recognize New China and the first EU member to establish a comprehensive strategic partnership with China. The UK is also the leading offshore RMB trading center after Hong Kong. The UK hosts more Chinese students and Confucius institutes than any other EU country. Moreover, the UK was the first Western country to issue RMB sovereign bonds and the first major Western country to apply for membership of the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. It is fair to say that China and the UK are increasingly interdependent and becoming a community of shared interests. A review of the history of our two countries' engagement gives me the deep impression that the growth of China-UK ties is driven by mutual understanding, support, and friendship between our two peoples. During the Second World War, 24 Chinese naval cadets took part in the Normandy landings. They received personal thanks from Prime Minister Winston Churchill for their gallantry. The late Lord Lindsay, a British peer, was actively involved in the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression. He helped China improve radio communication equipment under difficult conditions and risked his life to send urgently needed supplies of medicine and radio equipment to Chinese troops. History will forever remember those who dedicated themselves to China-UK friendship and peace and justice of the world. Early this year, a British nurse, Anna Cross, was infected with Ebola when serving as a volunteer in Africa. China promptly responded to the UK's request and made special arrangements to deliver its newly developed drug to the UK. As a result, Ms. Cross was cured of the virus. Recently, Lord Bates, again a British peer, went on a charity walk for over 2 months in China. He covered about 1,700 kilometers on foot under the scorching sun to raise money for charity in China and call on the people to cherish peace. It is thanks to such efforts made by numerous Chinese and Britons that China-UK relations have made steady progress despite the vast distance between our two countries. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, Shakespeare wrote, "What's past is prologue." We are in an age of pursuing peace and development. It is also an age in which countries need to meet challenges and forge ahead together. As the Chinese saying goes, a mountain can never be too high or an ocean too deep. This great age enables our two countries to join hands and move forward from the new departure point of our comprehensive strategic partnership. I am glad to see that the UK Parliament is playing an increasingly important role in promoting exchanges between various sectors of our two countries and in the growth of the bilateral ties. Exchanges between our legislatures have been on the rise in recent years. We have put in place a regular exchange mechanism with its 7th meeting convened just last month. Our lawmakers have conducted in-depth discussions on legislation and governance. The UK Parliament has regularly organized discussions on UK-China relations and cooperation in culture, low-carbon, and other areas, thus promoting the growth of the UK's relations with China. In particular, the all-party parliamentary China group has grown into one of the biggest country groups in the UK Parliament since it was founded 18 years ago, generating widespread British public interest in China. Parliamentarians are the cream of a society. I hope you will, as we Chinese often say, scale higher to see further. I hope that you will continue to promote the UK's relations with China, strengthen our friendship, and support our cooperation. And I hope that you will build a bridge of understanding and cooperation so as to help create an even brighter and more promising future of our bilateral ties. We welcome you to visit China more often, to learn about my country and experience its changes. Francis Bacon wrote, "Wise men make more opportunities than they find." And we in China often say, an opportunity missed is an opportunity lost. I am confident that the people of China and the UK, who are creative and eager to embrace change, can surely make more opportunities and take our cooperation to a new level. China-UK relations will certainly embrace an even brighter future. Thank you.